Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Today let's discuss what are some essential grocery items that you might have forgotten. Have you ever been cooking and in the middle of preparing a meal, all of a sudden you realize you're out of something or you're missing it or you don't know where it is? And that can really cause anxiety in your cooking. It can upset your routine and it can interfere with your contentment of being able to succeed at making your meal and getting dinner on the table. Some of us, our families are so busy, it can really be annoying when you can't just fix your meal and get it on the table and get going with all of the things you have to do. Let's think about some essential items that you don't want to forget and see if you have them. So first, let's think about flavor boosters. Spices, herbs, seasoning mixes. Maybe you like Lipton onion soup mix packets or gravy packets, things like that can spice up your meals. Sauces and condiments. If you know you like, for example, ketchup, make sure that you have an extra one in your stockpile so that you don't reach into the refrigerator and the bottle is empty and you're serving something that your kids want ketchup. Think about some of the convenience foods that are the MVPs in your kitchen. Shelf-stable milk and dairy products, so that if you run out of milk or the last little bit of it has spoiled, you can reach into your pantry and have something that you can use. It isn't going to be a good morning if you're pouring cereal and the milk is empty, but if you can reach in and even get one of the cartons of the UHT milk, you can even buy them at Dollar Tree if you're in the lower 48. And that milk is good. It's shelf stable. It can sit in your pantry without refrigeration for a long time. And I've even opened them past the date and they were still good to use. Think about getting some of those cartons of the UHT milk. It's much better than powdered milk, but have some of that too if you want the longest lasting milk, because actual non-fat powdered milk can last for 30 years, whereas the cartons of ultra high temperature pasteurized milk can't last more than, say, 2 years. How about cans of already prepared meals like beefaroni, chicken noodle soup, chili, beef stew? All of those open and eat meals that they're inexpensive, they're handy to have on hand, and they're so quick and easy to prepare. Then look at also some of the packaged foods like macaroni and cheese, the Knorr pasta sides, noodle-ronies, things like that you can just do a little bit of cooking, even mix it up together with some other ingredients and make a bigger, better meal. Those are the kind of MVPs that work in my house. Even a package of instant mashed potatoes. Even if you're not having mashed potatoes, you can use something like that. If you're throwing together things to make a soup or a stew and it needs thickening, you can sprinkle in some of your instant mashed potatoes. Plus, if you buy the boxes of just instant mashed potatoes, you can put those in an airtight container and they can last nearly forever. But that needs to be just plain potatoes. If you start getting the packets that have flavors in them and other ingredients, they're not going to last as long. They'll last a few years, and the size might be super convenient to tear open one of the Idahoan instant mashed potatoes. I love those. You just add water and stir it together. You don't even have to wait. They're prepared with just boiling water. So having some of those easy to prepare foods can really help save the day. You never know when you're going to have power outage or extra guests, or you just can't make it to the store. So having extra food on hand is really going to be helpful. It can save the day because you can then put something together. I like to sometimes take those easy convenience foods and put them together in a Ziploc bag, and I call it a meal in a bag or a shelf meal, because I can reach into my pantry, grab out one of those bags of food, and you basically just mix them together, heat them up, and you have a quick and easy meal that can feed your family. So if you're looking for quick and easy meal ideas, look over some of my meal in a bag videos and see if there isn't a quick dinner recipe that you can make even from foods you already have in your pantry. Next, we need to figure out how to have some shelf-stable produce. We love the freshest vegetables from the farmer's market or the just delightful things even from our own garden. but we can't always have the fresh produce. It isn't the season to grow it, or it has spoiled in your refrigerator because you didn't get around to using it soon enough, or you don't have any money left to go to the store this week. What are you going to do? You're going to be able to reach into your freezer. Maybe you have some frozen vegetables. Reach into your pantry. Choose a can of vegetables so that you can still have those items. Choose some of the fresh vegetables that will last the longest in your pantry. You can store things like onions, garlic, potatoes, winter squash. Those can last for quite a while. But if you want things like berries, they're just not going to cut it. They only last a few days. So there are fresh vegetable choices that can last longer. So make sure that you're having some of those choices if you don't want to have to eat the frozen and canned vegetables. But you should probably still have some of those just in case. And the just in case leads us to preparedness. We never know what the future holds, and we want to be prepared to be able to feed our family no matter what the day brings. Whether we run out of money before we run out of month, someone is sick and we had an unexpected medical bill and then there isn't the money to go to the store to buy more food, or you've been injured and you can't go to the store, a winter storm, you can't get to the store. And sometimes we just don't want to go to the store. But sometimes it's an emergency and we're not able to. In some of the cities, it isn't safe to even go out to the store during certain events that are happening. So there's a lot of reasons to want to be prepared to have food on hand that's shelf stable, that's long lasting, so that you can continue to make meals for your family. It's great to have tear open and eat granola bars, and it's easy to open and eat beef jerky, things like that, that you don't need to do any cooking. But then you'll want to have, like we said, those easy to open and prepare canned and packaged foods. But then think about the real basic foods. You want to have things like flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, so that you can make things like pancakes or bread or waffles or muffins, so that you have the basic foods that are the longest lasting, that then you can go in and still be able to take care of your family with the basics. Also store some of the very longest lasting for emergencies, things like beans and rice, oatmeal and pasta. The single ingredient foods that can last nearly forever. If you have those basic ingredients, then you're going to be okay even in crazy times, even with emergencies, even if the world just goes berserk, you'll still have some of those basic foods and you'll be able to continue to cook a meal for your family. That's why I'm a prepper. I want every day to go as smoothly as possible. I want to be able to provide food for myself and my family, and that's why I stock up on things so that I don't have the emergency that all of a sudden I don't have something, I don't have an essential, so that I can continue to make dinner today. Also, be flexible. If you're just making dinner and something isn't going right, just grab something else and toss that in, and it might just turn out to be a better, flavorful meal than you didn't expect. And give yourself some grace. Every meal is not going to be the best you ever had. Otherwise, how are you going to know what was the best? So we can roll along eating, good enough meals, but not every day. But we can get through it if we get something to eat. So stock up on the foods that you enjoy eating, and then make sure you have extras of those items, especially the ones that are the essential groceries that we never want to forget. Leave it in the comments below. What are some essential foods that you don't want to ever forget, so you're stocking up on those? I hope you'll like my video, share it, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.